What is up, boob tube? Today we're going to work on the truck. I have determined, based off of extensive research on good old forums and so on and so forth, that I believe I have dirty injectors. And after initially building the fuel system, and then since then rebuilding the fuel system, there's a possibility that there's trash on the injectors. So we're going to pull the injectors out. Excuse me. Pull the injectors out today and label them and send them off to my buddy Eric at Rad to clean them and hopefully see if some of them are flowing weird, because and I'll post up the recording or whatever of the LS, I believe it's LS Tech forum, where the guy is talking about the issues that he's running through, and it's exactly what I have, which is unless it's idling super duper rich, it idles very poorly, and the lean cruise is very poor. It like has a miss to it and everything else. And you read down through the post, and at the very bottom he's like, hey, just wanted to update the post, which nobody ever does anymore. I pulled the injectors, sent them out to get cleaned, and that was my problem. They were just super dirty, and the way Holly reads a miss is it sees it as a lean condition, so it dumps a bunch of fuel, which compounds itself because it's constantly self-learning. If you have that turned on and adding fuel to it to compensate for the lean condition, eventually causing it to have a rich miss consistently. So that's what I'm hoping is going on. So let me get the light set up here, because I'm kind of right underneath my LED with the hood on, so I can't really see in the hood. And we will pull the rails off and get the injectors pulled out. So let's get started. Well, if this isn't enough evidence for me to tell you that you need to send your injectors out to get cleaned, all of that right there is out of the end of the injector. So if I take this and just look at how dirty that is. So there's no telling how the spray pattern is in this thing right now. Let's see, can you even tell how dirty this thing is? Will it focus? Focus. It'd rather focus on my hand than the end of the injector, but these things are definitely dirty, due for a good cleaning, clean up, spray out, stuff, so on and so forth. They've been in the truck for 4 years now, so I would say they're due for a decent cleanup job, and hopefully that will alleviate some of my issues that I've been having. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to it, taking the rest of these out. That's 1 of 8. Alright, I knocked y'all over a couple times on accident, but I got the fuel injectors out. I'm going to label these so I know which came from where, and so maybe he can give me some insight onto which ones were doing worse than others. But now it's just pulling them out of the fuel rail and getting them shipped off. Like that. I mean, they're disgusting. I don't know how much you can actually see of it, but they're pretty bad down in there. The actual spray needles look okay, but Everything in the bottom is dirty. So I'm gonna get these pulled out and packaged up, and then we shall discuss more on the issues. I actually found something that sucks. I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that, but I think I got something to fix it with. But anyways, let me get these packaged up, and then we'll come back and talk some more. All right. Well, my heater's running in the background. We're supposed to have Snowmageddon again this year, but got everything. I'm not actually going to ship it in this thing. This is just what I'm holding it all in. I'll get an actual box at the post office, but got the fuel rails out, and it smells like fuel up there, so I'm not going to walk back up there. But I'm excited to see what those injectors show. I expect one, maybe two, to possibly flow a lot less than the rest of them. And I don't necessarily think it was harming performance on the truck because the injectors are so oversized for what I'm doing. Like, they're 80-pound injectors, and I'm only doing like 13, 14 pounds of boost, so it should be in like the 60-70% usage range, but on duty cycle. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get those shipped out, and hopefully my buddy Eric can find something. I also stuck something in there for him to test out, but hopefully that will fix that, and I can get a little bit better fuel economy out of the truck, since I'll hopefully be able to idle it at like 15-to-1 air fuel ratio instead of 14-to-1, which is everywhere I pull up, everybody's like, man, that thing smells rich. It's like, yeah, it's because it is. So either way, eventually we're gonna work on this bad boy. Don't know yet what my buddy wants to do with it. Depending on how quickly he gets back to me on it, I might just tear this motor down and look at it and see what all it would need. It's got a knock. We don't know if it's a rod knock, like on the rod, or if it's a crank knock. But tear it down, see what it needs. If it's something like put rings and bearings in it and send it, then we might just do that, balling on a budget. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video today. I know it was kind of short and not really much went on, but it's something that I've been fighting with the truck for a long time. Initially, the issue that I had was the E85 sensor had died, but it didn't fail die. It was just swinging from 0 to 100% back to 0 ethanol content, and it was causing really, really bad rich spikes. And I just happened to be tuning the truck, figuring out some stuff on the idle tune circuit, and saw that it was doing that on my idle metering in the Holly software. So I went over there and looked at it, and I was like, what the heck? And as soon as I turned that thing off, it started idling better. It runs better. It had a really, really bad miss that is now gone. Now it just does the miss like I had talked about before, when you're like cruising, doing the lean cruise, and it's got some sort of a fuel miss to it, I think, a rich fuel miss. So with that, we're gonna stop there, even though I've already said that once, and get that stuff shipped out hopefully tomorrow, might be Thursday, and hopefully Eric can take a look at them and get them turned around pretty quickly for me. So deuces, guys.